All right, how y'all doing there? So this is a tutorial that gets you from your refined sketch through to your finished line. First thing I'm going to do, I have this sketch open. I'm going to just go ahead and export it, save it for web, and I'm going to just make it a JPEG. Um, I think JPEG high is going to be plenty good enough. I'll save it in finished line art. There we go. Touch and sketch, JPEG, save. Then I'm going to open a new file, which I've already opened here, and I'm going to. I've already got some secret layers here, but I'm going to click on that bottom layer and go to File, Place, and I'm going to get my abduction sketch, place it in there. Not sure why it's so little, but no big deal. I'll just scale it right up. All right, now that I've got my file set up, what I'd like to do is start drawing on this layer called Person. I want to make sure that I have a black color. I want to grab my paintbrush, make sure it is set to 2. And we also want 100% hardness, just a basic brush. We're really about the shapes here, not the lines in this particular project. So I'm going to use change my mind. I'm going to use this line tool because I kind of have a fun little trick I can do. So again, 2 pixels black, and I'm going to just start drawing here. Now I'm going to make sure that when I stop and I start again, I start at the same place where I stopped. That's so that these lines connect. That's going to be critical when we use a paintbrush tool later to fill these shapes. It's really about speed, so make sure that these lines connect, and we're going to kind of make a coloring book style image where you have every shape is completely connected with lines. All right, so I stopped recording for a moment there so I could finish my drawing. I didn't think it would be all that much fun for you to watch me do that. See, I missed a couple lines here. Now what I'm going to do, I think that this character is pretty good, but it's a little stiff. So what I'm going to do is get my Edit, Transform, Warp tool, and I'm going to play with it. I do this a lot. I'll rough in a form, and then I'll go to the Warp tool. Sometimes I'll use this filter called Liquify. And I will go ahead and give some gesture, a little more attitude to my drawings. I like doing this because I can literally, in real time, kind of redraw this character. That's really cool. That way I'm not literally redrawing, I'm just reshaping. That's better. I like that. So here's before and after. A little more gesture, a little more action. Okay. Now, I actually, before I started the demo, went ahead and drew all of my shapes precisely. And you can see that I put some of these spaceships in some different spots than my original sketch, and I have a different kind of a shape which I used with the distort tool to kind of get a little more gesture on my figure here. I'm going to turn my sketch off, and what you will notice is that every line connects. I'm going to be able to fill this with a paint bucket really quickly and really easily. I also have layers, very important. So of course I have this light ray, which I'll probably fill and give it some kind of an overlay translucent mode. I have my person, which I want to be able to select quickly and do things within color. And these are planes. One of the components of this assignment is to have multiple planes. I don't mean airplane, I mean planes of space. So I have 1, 2, 3. And I know that these are going to have to go back into space. I'm going to have to adjust their saturation, their hue, and their value near the end of the project in order to create the atmospheric perspective. So if they're on 3 different planes, and this person is on this 4th plane, and this ray is on like a 5th plane, I'm going to be able to make those adjustments really, really quickly. So this assignment does require layers. I want you to think through your layers. You really can only have too few layers because, we can merge them if they get to be too many later on. So I would start out with a lot of layers, a lot of planes. Think about how you're going to have to adjust those planes individually in order to create atmospheric perspective by making some things duller and some things kind of pop out more. And that is, I believe, all I wanted to cover for the finished line art. I'll give you a quick example of where we're headed with this paint bucket tool. Let's say I wanted to start filling some of these shapes orange on this top ship row. I'm just going to be able to do this. It's going to be so fast. Super fast coloring. Okay, and that's why we do this coloring book style with the with all the lines connecting, and also what we'll be able to do is later on change these line colors as well, because right now they're all black. But that's it for another demo. I'm going to sign off now and look forward to seeing your finished line art.